Hello, all you rabid Lions fans, and welcome to Lions on the Prowl. News, rumors, and debates from the fans' perspective. Here's Markus and Jim.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Lions on the Prowl. I want to welcome back this week, Markus.
What's going on, y'all? Hope y'all didn't miss me too much.
Yes, you were missed.
Oh, well.
I've heard.
Well, I'm back.
And better
I'm ready
than
to
ever?
go.
And better than ever or worse than ever?
Yeah. I mean, might be a year older than y'all talked to me last time. But.
Yep, that's right. We wished you a happy birthday and wondered why you weren't here.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I know. Like, it rained, so it, like, put a damper on all my plans.
Yeah, that's because you weren't here.
Like, literally, my plans were damp.
Oh, it's been a rough week. Hasn't it? Hasn't work's been kind of rough. It's been a lot of rain, a lot of crap going on.
A lot of crap going
on. Not as much crap going on with the Lions, but... But we do have topics to talk about this week, and first we're going to start with our shout-outs. I'm going to start with you, Markus. Who do you have this week?
Well, first off, I want to shout out Kim Possible, since she claims that she never gets a shout-out.
And she didn't. She didn't. That was my fault, too, because she told me. She was like, I never get a shout-out, and I was like, okay, we'll do that this week.
Kim Possible. There you go. I also want to give a shout-out to the lovely Leslie, who I am very upset that I missed last week.
Yes.
Very upset.
We appreciate you.
I also want to give a shout out to Brendan. Homeboy's always on wires. Hope he's okay.
Yeah, I hope he hasn't died from that yet.
And also Thomas and Brianna.
Yes, both. I have Chad and Carrie, Beth, who helps the show. She's getting guests for us, as we said last week. And Rob, who is an avid listener of the show and loves the show when Markus is on. He He does, though. He's a good guy. And, you know, if you want to help the show, there's several ways to do that, right?
Yeah.
Lions on the Prowl is currently seeking sponsors for the show. If your business would like to reach our audience, please email lionsontheprowl14@gmail.com.
We just want to thank everybody for listening, and every little bit helps.
Yeah, we appreciate everything that you guys do for us, for listening to the show, giving us feedback, helping us with what we need to change, what we need to do better. You know, we really appreciate all of our listeners out there. So now we're going to go into our transactions.
Millions of dollars. Millions of dollars.
Make it move, make it move, make it $1 million move, make it move, make it move, make it $1 million.
Okay, this week we have made some moves, and let me see here. We waived Connor Cook. What do you think about that? We waved goodbye to Connor Cook.
I mean, I think a lot of this stuff is questionable.
Well,
like a lot of the things we're going to talk about today.
Yeah, we'll get to those. My take is Savage was a lot better than Connor Cook. I mean, there was a gap.
I agree.
And the corresponding moves, they brought in someone who's going to fail. I mean, no, David Fales. You can't even have Fales in your name and be a quarterback. Can you really?
Not a Lions quarterback anyway. Just
goodness.
saying. Like, you can't. No. No.
It doesn't make any sense. He was a backup for the Bears and the Dolphins. Back to Connor Cook. Connor Cook was like a first-round draft pick, was projected to be much higher. But then issues came up about his leadership issues and all this other. He's got a cannon for an arm. He's a big quarterback. But apparently, he just is. I think this is his last stop. How do you not make the Lions as a quarterback and be a former first-round pick? I don't know.
I mean, the issues that were brought up are valid.
Yeah.
Like leadership, especially when you're on a team that ranks where the Lions do. That's something that you're gonna need. That's something that you can't be lackluster in.
No, you can't. You can't.
Then we're gonna fail. Like
David does. I'm just kidding. Now we're going to go into David Fales. I know a little bit about him. Backup for the Bears, and they didn't like him there. In fact, they really didn't like him there. And so they got rid of him. And Detroit always seems to pick up the scraps. We are listed as one of the worst backup quarterback situations in the entire league right now, and I totally agree with that.
Definitely, 100%.
I mean, we got a Savage and a Fales.
Play the Savage.
So they savagely fail.
No, play the Savage.
Well, yeah, he's got a pretty good arm.
We need more
I
Savages.
just don't. You're right about that.
On offense and defense.
So we sign a journeyman, another guy for the offensive line, Luke Bowanko, or Wanko, whatever you want to. I'm not really sure how to pronounce that. It's fine. Started 14 games for the Jacksonville Jaguars his rookie season. He was in the Patriots camp last year, and then he failed to make the team. More failures that we're signing right now.
And you see, like, that's why it's questionable to me, because it's just like none of these players have proven to be anything.
Right. But that's the New England way. Remember Kyle Van Noy?
We ain't New England.
Well, we're trying to be.
We ain't.
We are. Remember Kyle Van Noy? The Lions cut him. They pick him up. He's starting and doing very well for the Patriots defense. I think that's what we're trying to do. Remember Aquara? We got him because the Giants cut him. Not a trade. They cut him. And we picked him up. And did you know he led the team in sacks? He was tied with Devin Kennard with 5 sacks. I mean, so maybe that's what we see, something in these players that other teams don't. I don't know what they see in Fales. I'm not even trying to go there. But
whoever's looking better have a good prescription through them glasses. That's all I'm saying.
Me too. Well, let's hope. Okay. So the Lions waived David Jones. I didn't even know who he was, so I guess it's not a big deal.
Yeah, me either. Like, I saw that. I was like, who?
Who? All right. So now the bigger news, Michael Roberts. I'll go into this a little bit. Lions trade Michael Roberts to New England for a conditional draft pick. Oops.
Okay.
Never mind.
Okay, I got a quick question.
Yes.
I know Matt Patricia used to coach there, right?
Yes. Defensive coordinator.
So what, are we just like buddies with New England now or
No,
something?
we're New England's farm team is basically what it is. So, they want a player, we just trade him to them. And we get a really crappy draft pick. But anyway, so the trade gets rescinded because Michael Roberts fails his physical, which I really find this amazing since he's been playing with us in the mini camps this whole time. And they were saying he was doing okay and doing good, and he's meeting with the media, and everything's fine. And then we trade him and find out the guy's hurt. This is another thing that I don't like about the Lions, is they hide injuries all the time. All the time. This team never tells the fans what's actually going on. And this shows from the fans' perspective. And I'm sick and tired of it. If I'm a season ticket holder, I want to know who the hell's playing and who's not.
That's fair.
Or if I'm going to go to a game, am I not going to see Stafford that day because you didn't tell me all week he was hurt? Or you told me, he's a game-time decision. They have gotten better as the NFL has told these teams that they have to disclose injuries, where they wouldn't say anything at all. And this is driven by us, the fans. And in some part, we need to take that back. I won't rant too much on that this week. We'll go back into Michael Roberts. Another failed draft pick. At least he knows when to cut somebody.
And it's unfortunate because they're about to do this whole tight end rotation thing.
Oh, it's not unfortunate. I mean, we have a lot of tight ends.
I know.
We have 4 that I think are good.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
and he couldn't break a 4-man rotation. Even if they keep 4, which I'm not sure they'll keep 4.
They might.
But you've got...
Definitely 3.
You got Hockenloogie. You got him. And then you got Nauta, which I really like him.
He's really good.
And Logan Thomas. And then there's one other one. Oh, yeah, the Wild West guy.
Yep.
Yeah, Jesse James.
Yep.
So you got 4.
They said Jesse James will most likely take the 3rd spot behind Hawkinson and Nada.
Right. That's what I think, too. I think Nada's really underrated for a 7th-round draft pick. I really like him.
Definitely.
But Michael Roberts was awesome in Toledo, where he went to college. He was a touchdown machine over there. And he was just a broken machine for us. I don't know. And maybe he has potential. Now, do I think New England will pick him up in a few weeks? Yes. And we'll get nothing for him.
Maybe it was the Ohio curse.
You are all about curses.
Man, I'm telling you, dude, they're true.
Well, we went through the Bobby Lane curse, and we're over that now.
And we over that now. Then we got the Kardashian curse, the Reggie Bush.
That Reggie Bush brought on us. So, I want to go into a little bit about, after the break here, about Teez Tabor. So, we got something special coming up for you, and a little bit about Teez Tabor.
Hello, Lions fans. Would you like to support the continuation of this show? Become a patron. Go to www.patreon.com/Lions on the Prowl. Thank you for supporting our mission to give you Lions news and rumors from the fans' perspective.
Okay, yeah, we'd really like you to go to the Patreon page, and there's different levels there that you can join. You can see that on that Patreon page. We really appreciate you helping us out. Now, moving on, we told you we were going to talk about Teez Tabor, and we are going to talk about him right now. What do you think about the second-round draft pick, Teez Tabor?
I think that he is doing something tremendous off the field.
Totally agree.
You know, it's and it dates back to Kaepernick's whole protest about the social injustices, and I think that the Lions handled that very well. They said, okay, we understand you have your right to protest, but we don't want you to do it, so we will come to a middle ground with you. If you stand, we will donate money to whatever
cause that you want.
Cause that you so choose.
Yep.
And I think that was really big of them. I think that was a great way to go about it. And I think what he's doing with youth that he sees himself in is exceptional.
I think the fact of his self-awareness really got me. That I know that I know I'm not in love with the game anymore, or I wasn't. I know what was wrong with me, and now I want to not only change, but I want to help others to change. I mean, that is a mature young man,
and he speaks from experience, and he's like, I know I'm not the only one.
Exactly. And the Lions, they didn't only say they were going to do it; they gave $600,000. So they actually did what they said they were going to do. And I think, like you said, I think that was one of the better handled situations in the entire league about this whole thing. Now, we haven't talked about Colin Kaepernick very much, and we haven't brought up the issues involved with that whole thing. But I'll tell you what, I think that him taking a knee, it was a symbolic gesture. I am a patriot, not New England, but you know what I mean, and all that. But our country and our people have done wrong things. We have to recognize the fact that we have made mistakes, that we have done things that are wrong. We need to bring this to the forefront. And I totally support what he was doing. Maybe that was his way of expressing injustice. You know what I mean? And
a lot of people see him as wrong for that.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's basically because of the veterans and all that, the national anthem means all this.
But that's what they fight for.
I agree.
That's their job. They fight so we can do those things.
No, I agree with that. But what I'm saying is that maybe it wasn't the best way to go about it, but he had to use the platform he had to stand up for something that he believed in.
I agree, but I don't see. I think he played it right. I think he did what he needed to do, what he had to do.
Yep. And the Lions did too. I mean, I think, like you said, I think the Lions handled this really, really well. I grew in respect for Teez Tabor when I read this article, because it was an article, and that's where we got the information from, that he had opened up to somebody and told about his life and where he's been and where he is now. We see these people as just numbers or just position players, and we critique them for their play. But they're actual human beings, and we need to recognize that a little bit more, I believe.
I think that their worth is in the eye of the beholder. We see them as they see them. We see them as they allow us to see them.
Yes.
And now he's allowing these younger gentlemen to see him as they are now.
Yeah.
Knowing that that's once where he was. Knowing that he got out, so showing them that they can too.
And I love that. I love helping the younger generation to be able to have hope. Of course, he plays for the Lions, so how much hope can you have? But
I mean, if we don't protect our youth, we're not protecting our future.
I agree with that. So, okay. And does Teez even make the team? I don't even know. He's a pretty darn good.
With Slay's holdout, he's been taking over them starting minutes. So
he's not a good one-on-one guy. He's a great zone corner. Doesn't have the speed to be a one-on-one matchup guy,
and he's good in special teams.
He's good at special teams. He's also he's got great instincts to cover like somebody crossing over the middle of the third down slot guy. I just don't see him I see him more of his own corner than the man-to-man corner.
I agree.
He just doesn't have the speed for that, but he has talent. He really does have talent.
And really the only thing that's holding him back from being that one-on-one defender is his footwork.
That's true. Well, he's just not fast enough. He gets blown. People blow by him.
Yeah, but you can modify that if you can work your feet.
That's true too, and your hips. If you got fluid hips, then you can be better as corner than what he is right now. Do I think that he's gonna? I mean, there's a lot of competition at corner right now. There's a lot of competition. The guy that I can't pronounce his name, Amari, sounds like a dog's barking.
Something like that.
Yeah. 5th round pick, Awarie, I think is how you pronounce it, but I'm guessing. He's good. You know what I'm saying? You've got the guy you got from Oakland or L.A., whatever the hell they want to be called now, the Raiders.
Oh, yeah, I don't know, whatever they want to be called.
Wherever they want to move to this week.
Yeah.
They want to move to Vegas.
This season.
This
wherever
season.
they are. Whatever state they're in.
They're still in California still.
Yeah, who knows? They'll probably go into Hawaii next.
No, they want to move to Las Vegas.
They want to move to Alaska.
Alaska. I'd like to have a football team in Alaska.
Nobody would want to play there. That would have to be an indoor stadium.
It's an outdoor stadium.
No, not in the winter.
Home field advantage. And the guys that play, they're like, no, please, we don't want that either.
They would have 0 home games in the winter. They would have 1 home game in the fall.
How do we get on this stuff? Oh my goodness! No, the guy they got Rashad Melvin, who's I was talking about as a corner, and of course you got Slay, but I still think there could be some moves made there. I also think there could be some moves made. They've left 1 roster spot open right now.
They have 2.
They have 1 at this point.
Who they signed? Because I just read something that said they had 88 players, 2 shy of the maximum.
Oh, I think they signed that lineman.
When?
Bowanko, something like that. That was this week too. And then the trade fell through, so they got rid of him. They got Fales for Cook. So you might be right. They might be looking at
88 players.
88. I'm still thinking they're getting an offensive lineman. I still think they're getting another one.
That would be ideal. I would like that. I would love to see that.
Because our offensive line sucks.
Yeah, but I'm interested in seeing how they're going to do this year.
I am too, but my problem with this offensive line is it was terrible last year, and you got rid of one of your best offensive linemen. So how does that make it better? The only thing they did was they moved Frank Ragnow to center, which he's a lot better at.
And they're about to do a lot more with 2 tight end sets.
But tight ends ain't blocking some of these bigger guys. I mean, they're going to chip the outside, and they're going to help run block and all this stuff, and maybe pass protect, but they're going to be going out after they chip the defensive end, going out for a pass. So, I mean, they're going to assist Taylor Decker, who kind of needs assisting lately. I mean, he's not great, I'd say he's average. Say he's a 75, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I feel it's just...
And Wagner's not that good either. At least he didn't play that good last year.
Yeah, you're right about that.
We got rid of TJ Lang, who was probably our best offensive line player. We moved Frank Ragnow. Now we've got 2 guard positions that I don't think are that well manned. I mean, we got Glasgow, but he's not great. Abushi was a journeyman, basically. But he's played in Bevel's system, so he might get the nod there anyway. But I don't see. I think we have to. I still think we need to revamp that offensive line. You can't give up over 40 sacks year after year. I think it's been 3 years in a row.
3 of the last 4.
Yeah, We can't give up that many sacks and no running game to speak of, except Kerryon Johnson was doing well last year.
Yeah,
but I'm saying, it's just we got to fix that. And I don't think we did that in the offseason.
Dude, I've been saying that since day one.
Oh, I know. Okay, moving on. Let's go to, Hard Knocks. The Lions desperately did not want to be on Hard Knocks. In fact, Matt Patricia says himself, Oakland would be really good for this, or the Raiders would be really good for this.
Well, they got all that personality over there.
Because he didn't want it, is why he did it.
Yeah, but, I mean, that's still true because there's a lot going on in Oakland. A lot going on in Oakland.
That's true. And then talk about us rebuilding. Holy cow, that team. Whew, let's hope Chucky's right, because if he's not, he's getting fired. Because he got rid of a lot of good players over there. Got rid of Mari Cooper, got rid of Khalil Mack.
Yeah.
Let's hope he's correct, because if he's not,
God bless that man.
So you do Hard Knocks on them with all that turmoil. I'm just glad it wasn't us. I really am. I think that would have been detrimental to the team. So
I'm just saying, but didn't they pick up a receiver? Was it Bryant? They didn't sign
they did.
Picked up Des Bryant, so they got him.
No, it wasn't Des Bryant. It was Antonio Brown.
Antonio Brown. That's who it was.
Yeah,
Antonio Brown.
So
they got him, Derek Carr.
Yeah, and they got another wide receiver too that I can't remember who they picked up. There's another guy they picked up too. So it looks like, and we play them this year, so we will see what happens with that. I still think we'll beat them, but it's in LA, so that they're wherever they're at.
Yeah, LA.
Undisclosed location. Well, Damon Harrison goes to Twitter, and he says, I have a big announcement today. And everybody's thinking, oh, you got your extension, everything's going to work out. And then it was not that. It was not that. It was what?
My man had twins.
Aww.
Miss Harrison had a double bun in the oven.
Yeah, and that's great. And we're really happy to have him here. And we're happy he's part of our family, but we'd like him to play.
Definitely.
But he should be paid. I totally understand where he's coming from. I totally believe he should be paid as the number one defensive tackle. Well, he's number one at stopping the run. So, and that's a big deal with this defense.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
So, I don't know what to make of that situation. Are the Lions going to give him an extension or not? They've got the money to do it.
I really hope they do.
They've got the money to do it, but he's getting older. I think he's 30, 31, somewhere in there.
He's still got a couple good ones.
But do we sign him to a 3-year contract, 5-year contract? Don't want to get into a Matthew Stafford situation with him.
3.
3? I would do that. I would do 3 for Damon Harrison. Damon Harrison he's amazing. And he could help the younger players too. PJ Johnson, I think that's his name.
I tell you, his gangster is about to be tested with them twins. That's my biggest fear.
Yeah, Oh my goodness.
I can't
For sure.
I can't have 2 younger me's running around.
Yeah.
We might take over the world or something.
Well, that might happen. That might actually happen.
No.
All right.
No.
All right.
It's not something that I would like because no.
It takes a lot of effort to take over the world. I get it.
It would be easy. If they're anything like me, it would be easy.
All right. If anybody from the NSA is listening to this or, stuff like that, just disregard what Marcus just said.
It would be easy.
Okay. Another article comes out about the most overpaid player being Jesse James. God, I almost got to agree with them.
I definitely agree with them.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know what number one, we haven't really seen him yet. He hasn't done a whole lot. I mean, he was in Pittsburgh. Yeah, he was in Pittsburgh when they had all those other wide receivers. So, he didn't really get used a whole lot. You had Antonio Brown.
Juju Smith-Schuster.
Yup.
And that kid is he's a beast.
And
but
you didn't have Le'Veon Bell. You almost had Le'Veon Bell.
What was the kid's name?
Which one?
The running back that they had last year?
I don't remember.
Cook?
Somebody. He was good,
James.
though. Yeah, it wasn't bad.
But
Anyway,
he was,
but Jesse
he was
James
exceptional.
wasn't used a whole lot, is what we're saying. And then he comes over here as the number one tight end for a little while before we drafted Hockenloogie. And then, of course, we get Logan Thomas, who can also be a quarterback, who's played quarterback before, and then Isaac Nada. So I think we're pretty well set at tight end. But is he overpaid? Yeah. Yeah, he's overpaid.
I don't think he's proven the fact that he's worth $22 million.
But that's over how many years, though, right? I mean, isn't that a 5-year deal? I think it is. I don't remember. But yeah, I can see that. I think he is overpaid. But if you're in Detroit, who the hell wants to come here? You have to overpay people. Dead serious. Dead serious.
Okay, but overpay the right people.
Yeah. Stafford's overpaid.
Harrison ain't. Give that man more money.
That man needs more money. Darius Slay, what do you think about him?
I mean, he's ranked number 2 in like interceptions over like so many games or like the past 2 years or something like that. Or something
Yeah, but he was
like that.
last year. It was not very good.
I read that earlier somewhere.
But last year he wasn't very good. He's ranked 19th as a corner. You don't want to pay somebody, and he's getting what $12
He was
million a
ranked
year.
13th.
So I thought he was 19th.
I read
Last year.
today it's 13th.
At 13th. Well, still, you don't want to pay somebody top 5 money for being number 13.
That's true.
You know, that's my point. I think he had a knee injury last year. Last year's kind of an outlier year for him anyway, because the last year was really, really good. 2017 was really good. 2018, not so much. But he's learning a new system. They brought in a new coordinator. That can happen sometimes. Plus, I think he was battling a knee injury. I think Slay's going to be fine. He is getting older. So we do have to start thinking about, drafting more corners, which we did. We drafted one that I think is going to be good later. But Jesse James overpaid. We both vote yes. All right. Oh. We're going to throw this question to both of us and then all of you out there. I'd like to hear your responses on Twitter and Facebook and everywhere you find Lions on the Prowl. Is this team, as constructed right now, a contender for the NFC North division title?
No.
Yep, I agree. I don't think so either. And Tim always brings that up. He brings up the point of, well, when are they going to be? Well, when they have the players to be. When they have the talent and they put it all together.
And that's why a lot of this stuff is questionable. The transaction stuff.
Oh,
what
yeah.
I mean? Like
I agree.
the whole Michael Roberts thing. If he would have made the team, we would have got a what round pick?
Seventh conditional. That means is if he's played so many games or he's done a certain amount, X amount of things, we'll get a 7th round pick.
Right.
I think it was a 4th round pick for us.
And he already got cut.
Yeah. As soon as he got back, they cut him.
Like,
if I'm Michael Roberts and I got traded to the Patriots from Detroit, I'm on cloud 9 because I might be winning a championship. With Detroit, that wasn't possible. But then he goes and fails the physical. This dude can't even do anything right. Just kidding.
sounds like his last name should be Fales.
It's possible. But Michael Roberts is the one that would win the trade. Michael Roberts would be the guy that won that trade. The Lions didn't win it because it gave away a 4th round draft pick for a 7th round draft pick. That's bad business.
Bad juju.
So then the Patriots would win it because they get a 4th round pick for a 7th round pick. So that grades out good for them. But the person who would have won this trade would have been Michael Roberts, going from the toilet bowl to the Super Bowl.
Definitely.
And it brings out a point about, okay, Bob Quinn and Matt Patricia are supposed to be the ones that take us there, take us to the promised land. Do you know what I mean? And guess what? They just traded or tried to trade a 4th round draft pick for a 7th round draft pick because this guy sucks. That means your talent evaluation sucks. That means what you thought this guy was going to be, he didn't turn out to be. which I can say that for a lot of different teams, but the Lions seem to really do this a lot.
A lot, and it's frustrating.
It is. And the fans were questioning the picks that they made, before. And I want to make sure this guy's a fourth-round pick. I think he is, but I'm not sure. I'm not completely sure about that. So everybody fact check me and get back to me. If I'm wrong, you can yell at me on Twitter or wherever. But still, that's a fail in my opinion.
So let me ask you this, Jim. What is it that the Lions need to become contenders for the NFC North?
I believe they need to. Well, first of all, they need to develop that offensive line. Their defense is good. They have no identity. That's the problem with Detroit.
I agree. No identity. Who are they?
Right. What are you? Are you a Matthew Stafford throw the ball all over the place offense? Are you a running team now? What kind of defense are you? You're the Patriots defense. No, why can't we be the Lions something and then someone copy us? Like Seattle did. Seattle made their whole thing, and none of their picks looked like they were any good when they picked them. They all overdrafted. They said they all, fifth round pick was their fifth round pick, right? He was a former wide receiver. Didn't think he could play corner at all. Richard Sherman. They got him in the fifth round. Mm-hmm. And nobody wanted him in the fifth round because they said, oh, he's a wide receiver turned corner. He's not going to be any good. They berated Seattle organization for what they were doing at the time, overdrafting. And it's a lot of the same things that the Lions are doing now. So are they creating something here? I think they might be. But boy, he has to be right. And when you're wrong on some of these, like getting a long snapper, and I'm not going to let that go. Landis, I'm not letting that go. You don't pick a long snapper with one of your draft picks. If you value draft picks that much, you don't give away talent for nothing. See, what's his name? I went to Indianapolis, tight end. Can't remember his name for right now. And that's stupid because
who?
Eric Ebron.
Ebron?
Yeah.
Ebron.
He bust.
Yeah.
Another draft pick busted. Jelani Tavai. What is he? He's a second-round draft pick. He better pan out. Teez Tabor, second-round draft pick. He hasn't really panned out. It's all of these things that lead to a situation where you have to question what the hell they're doing. You can't just blindly believe in the system and blindly believe in the leadership when the leadership is making mistakes. And they're admitting that. Sylvester Williams, they cut him. He was a big free agent signing, supposed to be the nose tackle, all this stuff. They cut him. But did they fix it? Yeah, they traded for Damon Harrison. So, I like the fact that he isn't going to ride and die with these people. If they think they made a mistake, they cut them. They get rid of them. They just cut their ass. And I like that. I like the willingness to say, okay, I made a mistake on this guy. Done with it. Let's get in TJ Hawkinson. Let's get in some other guys. This guy isn't going to do what I want him to do, what I envisioned him to do, so I'm going to get rid of him.
How long is that going to be okay to do, though?
I don't know. You can't keep swinging and missing.
So just keep swinging?
I don't know. Does he have a plan? That's the whole point.
That's. I think that's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Is there
a plan?
A goal that we're trying to reach? Is there something that we're working towards by doing this?
Yes. And I see it. I do see it. They're working on a top 5 defense and a top 5 running game. That's what they want. Because when Stafford retires or they get rid of Stafford in a couple of years, they're going to need that. Because they ain't going to have a quarterback like him more than likely. If they do have him, they have him right now, but they don't have anything else. They don't have a great defense. They ended up with a 10th ranked defense and giving up yards. How bad they were in the beginning and getting Damon Harrison and getting all these other pieces. Yeah, that defense might be pretty good over time. We keep drafting well. We keep doing well. We keep getting players in that can take the spots of players that are getting older. Have a young, talented team. That's what we're going for.
All right. So where do you see about the record? How are you feeling about that?
7-9.
And
that's generous.
I was gonna say 6-10.
I'm almost with you. Looking at the schedule, I think we're 1-4 after the first 5 games. I do. I don't see us going to Philly and winning.
Nope. We're
I
not
don't see
winning
us
in
beating
Philly.
the Chiefs.
We're not beating the Chiefs.
I don't think San Diego's coming. Or I don't know if they're San Diego or L.A. anymore. These teams move so much. I don't know. It's the Chargers, whoever they are.
I
they're
think that
LA.
one will be close.
I think they'll beat us at home.
I think it'll be close.
They're very talented.
I think
they
I think we might be able to hang with them. So who do you think we're gonna win? We're gonna
Arizona and Arizona, and even that's questionable to me.
That'll definitely be a close game.
No, they got a bad team. They got a
Still
bad
think-
team, rookie quarterback.
Still think it'll be
that's
close. I still think it'll be
I
close.
don't think it's still going to be. This team is terrible. How do you say that? Because we have all this talent, supposedly.
But
yet,
what does that mean? We say that every year.
I say
We got
it every
this.
year.
We got that.
Yep.
We got this, and then what happens?
We have a shiny new toy this year, and blah blah blah, and then he comes on the field, and we still lose.
I'm just saying, man. Like, wait till preseason.
Yep.
When I see
Exactly.
something in preseason,
Exactly.
I can.
Yep, I can diagnose that too. We did that last year. So last year, because you weren't here, it's me and Tim. Tim was like, they're going to be 12-4. And I said they're going to be 9-7. I was even looking at it like, I really like this. Depending on what the defense looks like, it looks like it could be pretty good because you got Stafford, you got picked a running back. It looks like we could be very good. You know, depending on certain things. I saw preseason and I saw the first game and I'm like, well, it's the first preseason. I saw the second preseason game and I'm like, no, this team, nope.
We're talking last year, right?
Yep.
I was last
Second
year.
preseason game in, I knew.
Was it last year they played the Patriots?
Yeah, regular season they played the Patriots. Beat 'em.
No, preseason.
No,
maybe it was
a
2 years.
A few years ago.
Maybe it was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I was there when they almost came back.
Right.
And beat New England.
Right.
At Ford Field.
They beat New England last year.
Yes, they did.
So, okay, let me get this straight. So the Pistons sweep the Raptors, and they're the champions, NBA. Detroit beats New England, who's the eventual Super Bowl champions, but neither team goes anywhere.
Neither team goes anywhere.
No.
Well, I mean, the Pistons went to the playoffs.
But they got blown out by the Bucks.
Swept.
Yeah, they're gone. Bye.
Like a wick broom.
Yeah, done. Like a broom you find at work now.
Like, nah, the Pistons got push broomed.
They got push broom.
They got push broom swept.
They really did. But see, this is the thing, and this is what I tried to say last year. I'm like, everybody's like, oh, no, it's just preseason. It's just preseason. No. You can't fix this many mistakes and this many glaring holes by that time. You just can't. So I want to see what they put on the field when they start in August. I want to see, what this team looks like when they're actually playing a team. Because our standards in Detroit are not the national standards. This has been an issue for a long period of time in Detroit, where we think this guy's really, really good, but he's like average to everyone else. But we know our team better, so we know they're better players. Well, they don't play very well against better competition. So, what does this team need to win a division title, be a contender? They need a top 5, top 10 defense, and they need to have one of the two, either way. One's got to be top 5, one's got to be top 10. Running game, defense.
Yep, that's what I was going to say. They definitely need that running game because Stafford needs to breathe sometimes.
Yeah, I was watching a video, There Goes Mobby, one of my favorite YouTubers, and he was saying that Matthew Stafford is 1-11 when he has a 100-yard rusher. But think about that. In 10 years, he's only had 12 games where he's had a 100-yard rusher out of 160 games. Well, maybe he didn't play in all 160 games, but I'm saying that's how bad this team has been.
But in 10 years, how many times has he had a good O-line?
That too. Or a great defense.
You can't have a good running game if your O-line's a garbage can.
And he had a good defense, right?
Like, their O-line might be the whole dump site.
Right. And this has been for years. We were complaining about this with Barry Sanders, saying, hey, if he was behind Dallas's offensive line, he might have gained a lot more yards.
He might have rushed for 3,000 in 87.
Well, you know what? That might have happened. That's actually legit. He could have done that. But this is what's wrong with this team. They don't build all the pieces. They just get shiny toys so everybody will buy season tickets and buy into this crap. And I think it's time us as fans, and this is from the perspective of the fans, we need to stand up and say, enough of your bullshit, Just enough. We need to build a team. And I think that's what they're trying to do. That defense is going to be a lot better. Getting Trey Flowers was a good decision. Getting Damon Harrison's a great decision.
Very good moves.
Very
good moves. Just pay the man.
Yep. Deshaun Hand, I think, is going to have a good year. He was a beast last year.
Yeah, Hand's going to do really well.
Tracey Walker, another guy that they drafted that I think is going to go into his role, but I hope he doesn't have the sophomore slump. I think he might have. If he doesn't and he plays well, that would really help us a lot at that safety position. But we've got a lot. We've got safety help. Our linebackers are weak, in my opinion. I don't think we have the linebacking core that we need to have this defense run correctly.
And our corners can either tackle and not cover or cover and not tackle.
Right. But he plays a lot of 3 safety sets as well. So, that might help that situation. Injuries are going to be a problem.
Big problem.
Justin Coleman's still hurt. Trey Flowers, the prize of the offseason, is hurt. Bryant's hurt. He's actually going to play linebacker, I think. I don't think he's playing defensive end. I think he's going to be that jack linebacker, the one that rushes the passer type guy. And he was in that Clemson defense. National champions.
Yeah.
And he's still hurt.
Still hurt.
So we've got a lot of injuries. Kenny Galladay is still hurt. We've got Marvin Jones that's still out. So injuries play a factor. The other factor that many people don't talk about in the national media, but we do talk about here, is the officiating, which I think is a problem sometimes in some of these games.
Definitely.
We lose at least 1 to 2 games a year on a bad call. No, a horrible call. Something that makes ESPN. Something that makes the news of how bad it was. We get 1 to 2 of those every year. And so you have to figure that into your equation when you're thinking of how they're going to do this year. I'm going with your 6 and 10 more and more.
Just thinking
about that
is just gives me a migraine.
Yeah,
because it's just
there's medicine.
How do you not? This is supposed to be the highest level of officiating football.
Yeah.
How do you?
Yeah, I don't get it either. But these are the things you have to consider when you're considering a team that's, a Super Bowl team. We don't have a top 10 defense. And the year we didn't have Reggie Bush or Calvin Johnson. So we didn't have the team to do it.
All right. So before we get out of here, record. You went with 9-7. I said.
No, I still went
10.
with 7 and 9. 7 and 9.
7 and 9. I went with 6 and 10.
6 and 10. That's what we think.
6 and 10.
6 and 10.
Right, 6 and 10 it is.
All right, guys. That's going to do it for this week. Marcus, you want to take us home?
Yeah, we'll see you guys next week. One Pride.